So schools are really failing in a lot of these cities. And apparently Chicago, one of my favorite cities to talk about. If you know me, if you watch me, you guys know I love Chicago. It's a love-hate relationship. I love talking about them because, Chicago is absolutely the most deadliest state in the United States. I'm saying that with not a happy thoughts, but very, very unfortunate and sad thoughts. Because it's a beautiful city regardless. Um, but their schools are failing. Their schools are failing also. And it's not all of their schools, but obviously specific areas of Chicago. An entire school board has stepped down in Chicago. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here.
Now, an update to breaking news we first told you about at 4 o'clock. The entire Chicago school board, all 7 members, are stepping down.
Our Sabrina Franza is live at CPS headquarters with what we're learning about the resignations and what it means for Chicago public schools. Sabrina.
Joe, Erica, Chicago Public Schools is already set to have an entirely new school board this upcoming January. But this news presents the opportunity for a new school board who can only be appointed by the mayor between now and then. It's a move some are calling an abuse of power by the mayor. This afternoon, in the middle of teacher contract negotiations, the mayor's office says all 7 members of Chicago's school board would, quote, transition out of their roles. We're now learning that would happen in the very near future, and we're told all members were resigning. The mayor has been at odds with Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez as of late. Previously, we reported that the mayor asked Martinez to resign. The mayor later denied that. The Chicago Teachers Union, the powerful labor union of which current mayor Brandon Johnson was a vocal member before assuming office, has been asking for raises for teachers. CPS CEO Pedro Martinez has opposed those raises in part because sources tell us he feels the school system cannot afford it. Now, on Tuesday, the mayor was asked about leadership at CPS. He said this.
I'm going to fight for public education in this city. As our brother articulated earlier, in the 90s, it was awful. Sold off all the city assets, sold off everything. Didn't pay pensions, privatized our schools, shut down public housing. I was elected to fight for the people of this city. And whoever's in the way of that, get out of it.
Meantime,
I like this mayor sometimes. I can't lie to you. I know he was a former teacher too, so I'm not surprised that he said this. I'm not surprised that he's for the people when it comes to education, which is, in my opinion, that is an excellent thing to do. You have cities out here like San Francisco, which I just reviewed not too long ago. They are closing schools because their budget is so badly balanced. They're in so much debt over there. It's terrible. And they have to take funds from the teachers, take funds from the schools, which forced them to close schools. And a lot of kids now have no school to go to, or they have to merge with another school, and do things in a different area, which is a whole big conflict because people are now, having to adjust to this new thing. And I could see why people are a little bit upset that the mayor has to appoint the new board, but that's his job, and I would hope that he does a good job. That's what y'all voted for. This is exactly who y'all voted to do this job. If anything was to happen to boards of the government also, he would have to step in and appoint somebody to these positions. So it looks like there's going to be 10 people to be elected by the board, on the board. 10 new people. Hopefully this makes a difference in Chicago with their kids, because the kids matter almost the most in Chicago. They are the future of Chicago. They are the future of America. So yes, education should be a priority. How do you help fix the raise situation, the teacher situation. You have to hear what the teachers want. You have to listen and hear what the teachers want. How can they help? How can they become a more efficient teacher? How can they help the students more effectively? Because there's a lot of students that, if they're not governed or taught the right way, they will go astray. And they'll end up like another statistic in Chicago. They'll end up on the streets. They'll end up poor, homeless, irrelevant, and they'll end up killing somebody or killing themselves in one of these gang shootouts that love to happen in Chicago. It's the honest truth. So it's very important to me. It's very important to prioritize education to these young kids because, again, they are the future. Let's continue.
Voters are about to, for the first time, vote for members of the school board in this upcoming election. There will be 10 elected positions on the board and 11 more appointed by the mayor. We're asking what might happen in the interim.
Which is good.
This allows for an opportunity for the board to come in, go ahead and do the CTU and the mayor's bidding around removing Pedro Martinez and also putting forward the $300 million payday loan. Again, which would further put CPS in debt. CPS has $7 billion of debt. So adding another $300 million, again, it's just irresponsible.
Okay. Y'all heard it there. That is bad. $7 billion in debt. You know, when we talk about this debt situation when it comes to schools and government, how do you guys really expect to pay off these debts? Because you guys say we tax people, you pay property tax, you pay sales tax, you pay federal tax, you pay state tax, you pay excise tax. But clearly that's not enough to pay off this debt. So how are you guys really going to pay off all this debt? Are you guys going to keep raising our taxes? Or are we actually going to have a serious budget in a way to make money come in and flow into Chicago? Because $7 billion in debt, just off of, not including anything else, but just off of schools, is wild behavior. That's wild behavior. And there definitely has to be a conversation on how we're going to fix this debt. Let's continue.
It's also important to note that Mayor Brandon Johnson had previously appointed most of the members that are now leaving their positions within the school board. Right now, outside of CPS headquarters, some opponents of what happened today are rallying to express their concerns. We are still trying to figure out why those board members resigned, what they were told. We'll keep you posted as soon as we learn more. For now, we're live in the loop.
That's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. They're at least letting them vote for 10 of the elected officials to be on the ballot, which is a good thing because now the people of Chicago get to pick who they want also to be in the board. But at the same time, they do have a huge situation that they really have to figure out, which is this debt situation. They're not only in debt with the schools, they're in debt with the police, they're in debt with the migrants that they took in. They're in debt all around the board, honestly. So they're probably in well over $7 billion of debt just off that fact alone. So I'd really like to see how the mayor recovers from this because a lot of people are upset. They're upset at this mayor also. They want this mayor to resign too. And the residents in Chicago are letting it be known. So we're going to keep updated on what is going on with this and see if they can manage this and get it back under control, which I believe they will. Chicago's a big city. They're not a failing city. Although they have its issues, it still has a huge potential to be great. A great city. It just has to be ran the right way. Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. Is Mayor Brandon going to be able to fix this? And if he is, what do you think his solution is going to be besides just getting themselves in more debt? Let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know your thoughts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if y'all are new. And until next time, peace.